Hey everybody, welcome back to another iiRcade Gamedaze. I'm your host, Michael, executive producer here at iiRcade. With that, let's get right into it. Happy Friday. I know, pre-recorded show today. However, I will be live again next week for a special announcement, which is great too. I'm excited for that, along with, of course, live Q&A as always, right? So until then, let's jump right into the news. Today we did release a new game, Fright Knight Legend. So that is a beat-em-up, a 90s style arcade style beat-em-up too, which is awesome. However, it is on sale right now through the weekend until Sunday. So it's Chicago time, 11:59 p.m. CST Sunday night. It is live on sale for 30% off until then. So pick it up while it's hot, while it's new. And then with that, let's go ahead and talk about the game a little bit, right?
This epic adventure spans the kingdom of Brightmoor, delving into its darkest corners. Evil has overtaken good, and it's down to you to bring light back to the world. Deep in the forest, untouched by hoof or foot, sacred trees stand stalwart and wise. Goblins, sprites, fairies, and foes lurk in the shadows, ready to strike when a traveler least expects it. They are the guardians of a stolen gem, hidden in amongst the trees. Nights have gone mad with them.
Fright Knight Legend is an absolutely hardcore classic 90s style beat 'em up, right? So this game is punishing and difficult. It's meant to be that way on purpose. It's designed this way, right? So if you're looking for a challenge, especially in a beat 'em up, this will be the game for you. It is single player and co-op, so make sure to invite a friend if you'd like to. You've got 3 different characters to choose from in the game. You've got your rogue character, Bella. So Bella's a very quick and agile character, different combos and things that she can do. You've got Simon, who's your knight. He's your basic brawler character, right? He's also got his own specials as well, too. Powerful attacks. It's great. With that, you've also got your third character would be Merlin, who's your wizard character. So Merlin actually has more ranged attacks, has 2 different special attacks as well. So they all do have their own special, unique abilities and things like that, which is great. So make sure that you swap characters. There's 4 different biomes that you'll play through, and with that, each one has its own unique boss mechanics as well. Some characters are definitely a little bit easier in certain scenarios than others. Some they differ a lot with if they're better in a certain scenario or if they're worse in a scenario, right? So do make sure that you're swapping characters if you need to, right? Try them all out, have a good time, or go the hardcore way, stay with one character the whole playthrough, then do another, then do another. That's what we had to do. Of course, as always, testing these games out. But if you're looking for a challenge, this is definitely the beat 'em up for you. Check it out today. Remember, this game is 30% off for this weekend only, so get it while it's hot. Few game updates on the way as well. So those of you following along my little dev project for you all, right? So Rebounce, to show you all what goes into just creating a general kind of basic arcade style game, right? So let's talk about that a little bit. There is an update out today. The 0.2 update is what you're looking for. This does include AI for the game at a base level, as well as actually patch notes you can see on the front main menu. So with that, you can actually just go straight in, and you can actually press Z on the main menu, and you can see everything that I've sort of changed for the weeks, essentially. So you will see updates again weekly, bi-weekly about. So I do work on this outside of the office. This isn't really, technically speaking, like a company-based thing, even though it kind of is, right? At the same time, it's kind of a weird sort of thing. That's why it's free, and it's great, right? But with that, this is just the project to follow along and see what game development is like on even the simplest of arcade projects, keep in mind, right? So the changes that went into this last week was basic gameplay, or 2 weeks ago, I'm sorry, was just a base core gameplay. I had a small update that had perfect AI, but that was not the real AI. This week now has the actual base level AI in it, right? So with that, what you had before was a perfect AI. But for a game, you can't have perfect AI or else you can't beat it. It's impossible, right? So what it was doing essentially, again, we're not going to talk about total code. However, we will talk about a little bit of the logic behind the design, right? So with the AI, the CPU player for when you're one player mode only in these games, the paddle's essentially following the ball, right? So you have an X and Y variable. It's following along that, right? So it says like, hey, I'm here on the Y. Hey, my paddle's here on the Y. So it's going to kind of follow and go and try to match it essentially, right? So before it was perfect, now it's imperfect. The difficulty settings, essentially what they do for this, so difficulty settings are in the game now, by the way, too. I added that with the AI. So the difficulty settings essentially control the speed of the paddle. So if it's trying to catch up to where the ball is, if it's going slower, a lot of times it'll miss that. However, the faster the paddle is, the more often it's going to hit, right? And you'll get a lot more volleys going on between the player and the CPU. So that's how that works as far as difficulty goes. It's essentially just adjusting the speed and finding the right numbers. So that's part of game design. That's what a game designer does. We balance numbers a lot, right? So that's really the core of the job. So with that, that's kind of at a base level what the AI does, right? It's trying to find the ball's Y and its Y, as well as the X in some modes, right? So the modes where you can move forward and backwards as well as up and down. With that, I had to sort of adjust the paddle. It's not quite perfect yet as far as that stuff goes too, but it does its best. It's definitely fun to watch it move around. The AI a little bit, you'll notice too, might jitter a little bit. That's something to look into to fix in the future here too. Again, base level AI too, I'll clean that one up. That's not a huge deal right now. So, but beyond that, it's working pretty well right now. I'm pretty happy with it. And we're going to move on to the next thing. As you'll see in the patch notes as well, the next thing coming up here is going to be the UI and the UX. So now things are looking a little bit cluttered, a little bit very, very programmer-esque kind of, right? It looks like a program right now, not a game so much, right? So I'm going to work on arcadeizing it a little bit is what we usually call this system, right? So less of a console game, more of an arcade game, right? So you got that coin button, you got player 1, player 2 start. You're utilizing player 1, player 2 start currently to join as players, however, at least in this version, right? Not in the base version, but this version. But we're going to do a little bit more than that, so stay tuned on that stuff. I'll clean it all up, and we'll have like a really nice, clean, smooth-looking AI. I'll show you all what I did next week or the week after. Whenever we get into it, we'll do a little bit of Q&A on that, so we'll get to that when it comes. Everything else, general gameplay cleanups, adding the difficulties, adding patch notes, things like that, and the AI is the big thing for this patch. But yeah, you can look at all that in the patch notes as well, and we'll talk about that when we talk about it next time, right? So, awesome. We also do have a game update for Awakened Evil. So those of you who are playing Awakened Evil, a Castlevania kind of style game too, it's great. The soundtrack's fantastic in that too. The art style is, it's its own thing. It's like an 8-bit art style, so it's not for everybody. I understand that. However, the gameplay in this game is great. It's fantastic. The music's fantastic too. And I know the stairs were very tricky. This update is in particular for the stairs. So the update allows you to go diagonal pushes and stuff up the stairs and down the stairs as well too, as well as up and down. Stair detection just is a lot easier and a lot smoother and crisp for the player, which is amazing. So, especially the levels where you're climbing through the towers where you might actually miss the stairs and fall down and die. Yeah, that's alleviated a lot in this build. So go ahead and update to that build if you're playing Awakened Evil. Check it out. It's still available on the store from a couple weeks ago. Yeah, there you go. We've also got an update coming for Mayhem Brawler, so keep an eye out for that. The team over at Hero Concept is working very hard on that game for you. This update will also fix, I know there's been sort of some issues with the leaderboards in that game. This alleviates and solves all of that, as well as, of course, adds the new character, right? So you will have your Ally, which is a playable character in this version of the game too. So stay tuned on that update. No date specifically on that, but it is coming very soon, which is awesome. We're excited for that too. So shout out to Hero Concept. Yeah. That's it for today. Thanks for tuning in. Remember, Fright Knight Legend, 30% off for this weekend only until 11:59 on Sunday, 11:59 p.m. CST Chicago time, right? So pick it up if you're looking for a hardcore, action-packed, 90s style beat-em-up, right? Single player or co-op, keep in mind. So have fun, play with a friend, play with a family member. Awesome. You've also got an update, the 0.2 update, which includes base AI and difficulty for rebounds. So go ahead and check that out. It's free. Go for it if you're looking at that too, and we'll talk about that more. In the upcoming weeks, we'll do like a nice little, like, really side-by-side show of what's going on with that game and how it's progressed, which is going to be great. Beyond that, you've got an update for Awakened Evil. So if you're looking at Awakened Evil and those staircases were killing you off a little bit too much, this update will fix all of that, which is great. So staircases and Awakened Evil very much fixed, which is amazing. Beyond that, other games and updates coming to you very soon, software, things like that. As well as, of course, we're doing other stuff in the background that you guys don't even get to see, which we're excited about for later on this year. We'll talk about all that stuff. With that, I will see you all next week. Remember, we got a different announcement next week, which I'm excited for, and I will see you all then. Tune in for a Q&A and an actual live session when that comes up. Awesome. Have fun, and as always, game on.